come on in, come on in, come on in. We here again with Tyra, and I just dropped my fork, but it's all good. So today we want to talk about some of the Christmas toys we were excited to receive during Christmas. Let me get that.
This, what you want?
I got this stuff right here. I was excited to get my convertible car with a carriage patch, and it had like a seat in the back for the carriage patch to sit down. I was so happy. I was mad that I never got the chance to drive it though.
Well, we didn't have you know, I'm a couple of years older than you, so we didn't have those things back then. But I know I have some of these 70 babies and 60s and late 60 babies, and we had skates. Bar, I'm trying to think. Goodness gracious.
The barbell.
Bar, number 5s. They were metal skates, and we had those, and we had bicycles, big wheels. Our big wheels, when they stopped being big wheels, we start making them into go-karts, wagons. But I had dolls, a lot of dolls, and one of my favorite dolls was Dadaway. She was a little doll, had a little bush hair, and she would crawl on the floor. And it was called Dadaway, my Dadaway doll. And Baby Alive, of course. And the Baby Alive was alive back then. It felt real. It took in food. It pooped. I don't mean it got a little mouth and didn't open up and you just put the little thing. No, this thing mouth moved. You put the spoon in it and it started moving, and then next thing you know, you got the little pamping. And I said, this is too much like a baby. I don't want no more of these. I said, because I ain't got time to take care of no baby. It felt real, everything about it. So we had those. My Barbies, which been around forever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I had the Barbies and a lot of chalk. I always ask for chalk. My mom said I wrote on everything that wasn't nailed down. So we had the chalk so I can write on the ground. Etch and sketch. Those I had several of those because I like, you know, to take the wheels and the little knobs and make them into little things and stuff like that. That's about it. Oh, the half a hair dolls. I used to love hair. Of course, I did hair for years because I practiced so much on those dolls. But they were very good toys back then. But my favorite of them all is my cousin. That was my bestie back then. He used to have Army men in a Tonka truck, a green Tonka truck. And that was my go-to. When I didn't want to do hair on my doll, I would go and sit all the Army men up and have them all on the floor. And I would have the Tonka truck on this end and put all the Army men on this end. And I would make it like the Tonka truck, they got to fight somebody that was in the Tonka truck. And I would line all the Army men up, and I'd be having them, and they be having them, they be like this little, and they be having like rifles, and some be having knives, and they just be standing up like this. And I used to have them armed up, and my grandma used to be looking at me, and I'd be playing, and I'd be like, yeah, bam, 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 boom, bam, bam, bam. And she used to be like, Tyra, what are you doing? I said, Granny, I'm having a war. I'm having a war. my cousin, he didn't really play with them, and they bought him Army Men every year, and he didn't play with his Army Men, so they became mine. But he played with his truck. So when he came to get his Tonka truck from me, and I had the war going on, I was mad because I needed the other Army Men to be on the back of the truck because they was getting ready to come and charge into the Army Men that was on the floor. And so I just used to play with them, and I loved it. And I mean, like, I haven't seen Army Men. I haven't seen that. They came in a bag.
You talking about the little green ones?
Little green ones. Yes, the little green Army Men. And they came in a bag, and they used to buy my cousin like 2 and 3 bags of them. So we had tons of Army Men. So I just used to be excited to play with him. And he would take his truck. And his truck used to be, I mean, it was a good truck. And it used to wind it, and the whole back of it flipped back like that. And it wasn't electrical, you know, we ain't had no electrical stuff back then. So I just used to be like, why are you taking your truck? He was like, because I won't play with it. I said, but don't you see I got a war going on right here. It's real. And it was a real war. And I mean, it's like, I've been over here all this long time playing with these Army Men. You not thinking about them? Why are you even bothering me? And he used to come and take his little Tonka. I mean, I couldn't fight with him, and I just wind up, go ahead, back, playing with my dolls and doing hair. That was it. I mean, like, my excitement was all over and done with. So, playing with Army Men was my best by myself time. I used to sit in the living room with my grandma. She drinking her coffee, and I got a whole war on the floor. A whole war on the floor. So those toys back then is the toys that kept me. They didn't have game systems. When the game system of was Atari started coming along, I didn't get one of those for Christmas. I didn't even bother about asking for none. I didn't really play with them too much. I mean, like, I would go to a game room and play Centipede or something like that, but I wasn't big on having a whole system, a game system, Atari system to play with. That wasn't none of my thing. I mean, they have all these games now. I don't even play with them, but I like the things that, you know, you can entertain yourself with. And that was Army Men. And the dolls. So what were yours?
I love my Cabbage Patch. And my mom used to buy these big old coloring books. The jumbo coloring books where we was little so we could put our whole body in them. My Smurf Big Wheel. My Strawberry Shortcake Bike. Yeah. I did get skates, but I just couldn't get it.
You came in the year with Strawberry Shortcake that everything was Strawberry Shortcake. Strawberry Shortcake took, I think, it made so much money because everything you had, they had the curtains, the bed bedding, the sheets and everything that was connected to all of this stuff. That Strawberry Shortcake came out, and Strawberry Shortcake was, I mean, it was a hit. It really was a hit. I mean, you know, I wasn't in that era, but it was a hit. I can remember them.
And then later, when I got my Nintendo.
Oh, game system. A game system.
Right. But
you had the handheld or the whole game system?
The whole game system.
Okay.
I still got them to this day. And I got the Super Nintendo. But the Super Nintendo, my grandmother had.
You don't have that?
Yes, I had both of them.
Oh my.
My mama brought me a Wii. I don't even think I even used it yet.
Oh, we? And you ain't use it?
I ain't even asked for it. You be like, man, I got life going on right now. I don't have time.
Wow, you still have a Wii? Wow.
And she bought me some other type of system. But I'm like, Mom, I got life going on. I don't have time.
I'm trying to think which, I brought my son a system. And I really liked, it was Xbox.
Okay.
And they had that one that the thing had, it'll zoom your whole body. What was the name of that thing? Goodness gracious. But I did like that. It was something like the Wii, but it was by Xbox or something. I don't know. But it Connect. It was a Connect.
Okay.
And I thought that was pretty cool that you know, you can move your body and you play the games. And they had the dancing games and stuff like that. That was nice. That was about the only system really like that. I like the upright. If I win, because I'm like a kid at heart. I ain't gonna say if, but God's continue on giving me the grace. I'm gonna give me a game system. I want a big system. I want just one of the ones that they had their little game rooms for. I want one of them. And I just make sure it had Atari, Pac-Man, not Atari, Pac-Man, Centipede, and Donkey Kong. Gotta make sure it had all of them. So with all of them on it, I just want to be good. They the games that I like to play, but I never really was sit in the house and be like, nah.
We did, especially like on a rainy day. Like, alright, so one day we got in trouble. So I ended up with the Super Nintendo, but it was for my grandma had brought it for me and my cousins. So it was 3 of us on that side, on my mother's side of the family. So 3 of us. So we fighting over the remote. And so one of the remotes ended up breaking. So we had to go and tell my grandma, because they made us go and tell my grandma what had happened.
Yeah.
So all 3 of us.
System.
We up there like, we was fighting over the game because it was my turn and he wouldn't give it to me. But like we would stay up all night because it was like when it was summertime, it'd be like 3 of us. So we would just stay in the living room because that's where the game was. So we had like the nice couch where it was like the U shape. So somebody could sleep on one side and somebody could sleep on the other side. But me and the youngest cousin would sleep. I'd be like, all right, well you sleep down that end, I sleep at this end. So we would stay up all night playing, like going to the different boards and just beating them because we were so excited to get to the end so we could win the princess.
Yeah, that's a different era for real.
Yeah, we be up like all night, like summertime.
Total different era. They in the house playing, we out the house playing. So.
But not saying that we didn't go outside though.
No, but y'all had them video games. I guess that was the bracket of introduction to the video games. Us over here, we made games.
They be calling like, y'all coming outside? We're like, no, we trying to beat these boys. But we had bikes. We would do like follow the leader. And be going all the way down to our elementary school, Grove Park, driving through the the Grove and everything, and
yeah,
going around the block. And
bike days was good days.
Yes, because it'd be like a whole
bunch. Oh my
goodness. We'd be like, all right, where we going?
Oh goodness gracious! Everybody didn't get bikes, and around where we was at, everybody didn't get bikes. So whomever didn't get bikes, it would be so amazing on Christmas because you would have your bike people, then you would have your skating people, and then on top of that, after they didn't, the ones who really didn't have, they had made themselves wagons out of the scraps of the bikes and the toys from the year before. So they coming out, and we had this hill called the Double Decker. And it was a hill that they had built these apartments down back. It was Gertrude, but they called it Chocolate City. So they built this hill, and I mean, we would come down there, and we would coming down that hill, and then they had Presbury, or was that Baker Street? I think it was Presbury, and they called it a double decker, and it would go down like this, and they go down like this, and we be down there bopping on the skates, bam, 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 everybody outside. You got your skates. The skates ain't have shoes. It was skates. That way, the shoe part didn't exist. The only shoe you had was the shoe you put on your foot and put your skate on, and you had to make sure it was tight. You had a key, and you better not lose your key, because if you lose your key, you can't tighten your skates, and you can't take your skates off. You're taking your whole tennis shoe or whatever shoe you had on for that particular moment to put on there. And we would all meet up, everybody who had a bike or skates, and that's what would happen. So we would be right there, wagon and all, coming down the hill. Christmas, fresh, crisp, cold outside and kid. Put your coat on, because we going.
Yeah, everybody wanted to show up there.
Oh yeah, of course. They was right there in the mix.
Alright, so yeah, so she said don't lose the key.
Yes, you can't lose your key to your skates. If you lose your key to your skates, then you would have to take your whole shoe off, because they were so tight, like it will your foot fit inside of there. You got these things. That's why they call them bar something number 5s, because you need your number 5 key to tighten it up on the side, your wheels and your shoe. And I'm just like looking like, okay. So you made sure that you had your keys to it. It was all we had. And you just make sure that you had that, and you could keep your skates, and you couldn't leave your skates out on your porch, because people take your skates.
Yeah, they'd be gone. They was like a hot commodity.
Yeah, it was a very hot commodity. They didn't care if you had no kid foot, because the skate stretched out. If you wore a size 6, it's going to stretch to about a 9. So if you leave your skates out on the porch, guess what? Your 6 is going to be a 9 come the next day, and people going to be bopping down the hill with your skates on, and you're going to be looking around like, what? They got my skates? Yeah. Right. That's how it was back with the things. I know everybody remember this toy, and it was Jacks.
Oh, I love Jacks. I had them too.
We had Jacks and batting balls.
Yep. Boom, 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 boom.
And
did you do the knockers?
Oh yeah, the knockers too, girl. I just had the little knockers. You know, I just had.
We ain't had like the parents had where they knock somebody upside the head with the string. We had a handle.
We had a handle. We didn't have the ones that you had with like a ring, and they just knocking and you swing, and the next thing you know, you done clunk somebody upside the head, talking about you ain't know that you clunked them. Yeah, we had those, but we had the knocker with the handle.
And then my uncle would get mad, like, Kesha, go somewhere with all that.
Yes, all that clicking, knock. I don't want to hear that. So, yeah,
I'm like, you brought them for us.
Absolutely. Those toys were some of the best toys that we had, because the bikes and the skates kept us outside and active.
Right.
And the army men, they had, I should say, they let you be creative with your mind, because you was on the floor and these things didn't talk back to you. But the positions that they was frozen in and everything, they got them like this, and then they got them like this. So yeah, so you had to like have a creative mind to sit there on the floor by yourself in order for you to be like, yeah, charge, yeah, and you pushing all the men, all the army men up like this. And, you know, you thinking, they can't walk or whatever, but you making all this noise like boom, 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 and all that, and you just being creative. So toys back then kept you, kept you a little motivated.
Nah, cause like I didn't have, my cousins had them in, but like by me being the only child, I'd be home a lot, so I would put my game boards together and use cassette tapes and have like a family and make cards and like this the kitchen and this their bedroom, this that one. And then my mom was like, Kesha, when you gonna get that stuff off of my floor? You better clean it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
But that was my area where I just would create and just
because
let
see,
my mind
I was
go.
the only child for 20 years.
Right.
Until my sister came. But I had my cousins were just like my siblings because we all stayed in the same house, but it was like they had themselves together and it was just me over here by myself. So a lot of my creativity came from the mommy men. Playing with the mommy men.
Wow, what was mom doing 20 years?
Oh, that's a whole, let me drink on that one.
That's a big stretch.
Let me drink
I
on
mean,
that
I know how some parents do be having children later down the line, but 20 years.
Let me drink on that one.
All right, so we gonna end this one.
Yeah, that was 20 years. Yeah, everybody thought I was the single child. And when they see me now, who is that? My sister. Your sister? Yes. I'm gonna drink on that one. That's another subject, y'all. We'll be back with that one again. The Gap Kids.
I'm a little scared. Well, as always, thank you for tuning in to Come Bling with me. Let your light shine in every aspect of your life. And until next time, shine and bling on.